everyone, welcome back to my channel at Barbie.com, where we talk about issues related to women, men, health, beauty, and everything fun. So today we are going to talk about interracial marriage challenges from society. But first of all, what is an interracial marriage?
We got married in 2008. We moved into our first home, our own flat in 2010 and got our first child in 2010.
Married with 3 kids. Awesome, right?
I didn't want a traditional Malay wedding, so that was the first thing I said no to. I thought that I had to change a lot, and I was afraid of that. So when I spoke to one of the ustads, he explained it to me.
Normally, if your friends have already kind of used to calling you Anne, it can continue after conversion. The core teaching of Islam, the change will be more to the belief rather than names and all others.
Is it a very drastic change if I were to convert?
They should be like today you wear the Malay baju kurung, tomorrow wear Chongsam lah. Islam has already been Malayanized. Is there mention of like in the Islamic law book that special dress code for a lady? No. What is mentioned in Islamic law book was that the coverable parts of the body that needs to be covered.
Will my family feel like they will lose me as a daughter?
Sorry, parents still remain parents. The Quran made it very clear. You are to serve your parent. It doesn't look into what religion that parent belongs to.
My dad is still not comfortable with being part of my family yet. So at times when we have family gatherings, we have 2 sessions going on. One session with my father, one session without my father, and just with my husband. My mom and my brothers, they've been very encouraging and supportive with the kids' upbringing in a Chinese and Malay household. So when it comes to Hari Raya, they would also wish my mother Selamat Hari Raya. My mother will be very amused by it. My mother was quite important because she helps take care of my kids when both of us are working. They would observe her when she prayed, and even at a very young age, when they are like 1+, they would be able to imitate the movements of the prayers. They would learn to speak in Malay because she would speak only very little English and more Malay to them. Sham and I always thought of how we could bring the 2 cultures and 2 families together. When we chose names for our children, we included my family surname, Alicia Chua No Sham, Akil Chua No Sham, and Alina Chua No Sham. I've overheard my eldest daughter, say to a girl who was speaking to her in Mandarin that, don't speak to me in Mandarin, I'm Malay, I can speak Malay. And I was very amused by it because we have never told her she's Malay or she's Chinese. And she very unconsciously just blurted that out. We do not agree that if you do not take on Mandarin, you will be at a disadvantage in finding a job, and that you would be sent to China and you wouldn't be able to work in China because you cannot speak Mandarin. So we don't believe in that. The Old Testament in the Bible is similar to what the Muslims learn as well in Islam. Moses, about Adam and Eve, about the Ark, something that I know, and it's something that Sham knows as well, so we can talk about these stories to the kids. Look at all the cows. Right? I actually asked this before of Sham. What if one of our kids decides to marry someone of a different race or religion? His immediate response is,
Cannot. No lah, I'm just kidding lah. It's fine as long as the boy or girl is like nice and he doesn't have to like hold like a high position in some corporate company or something. So if he earns his living honestly, then he can go out with my kids, right? No problem.
Marriages between people of different ethnic, racial, and cultural backgrounds are referred to as interracial marriage. As surprising as it may seem, this isn't always an acceptable agreement. This was formerly a highly contentious issue in the United States, and it was even prohibited at that time. It is actually very rewarding when you love someone who isn't like you in terms of ethnicity, culture, identity, religion, and anything else. In that case, we may widen each other's perspectives, approach the world in various ways, and even find a connection in our differences, when and if we are willing to open up to each other. Unfortunately, Because racism still persists on a deep level in our society, interracial couples can still face challenges at times. In an ideal world, love should know no limitation. Other people, on the other hand, may have negative feelings or judgments about an interracial couple. Interracial couples must face these challenges together while preserving understanding and support to one another's experiences. While accepting their ideals, interracial couples may have difficulties if their values differ from each other's due to racial or cultural identification. When you are in an interracial marriage, there are ways that can help you to deal with the challenges that come in your way. You may experience additional obstacles in your marriage as an interracial spouse due to outside influences. You may feel hurt at times, unhappy, powerless as a result of this. If you want to be sure that these potential problems don't harm your relationship, talk about them freely with your significant others. Your partner is likely to be the greatest person to provide you with relief from these external pressures. You should work together to confront this difficult situation and count on each other for support. So, here are a few challenges that you may face as an interracial couple. The first one is derogatory comments in public. As an interracial couple, you may have to face negative comments, especially when you are out in public. There are still a lot of people who are not open to accept your differences, and they will not be afraid to speak out their disapproval of your relationship without thinking of the consequences, such as mainly hurting your feelings and your partner's feelings. Other than that, such comment will project a negative look on your relationship. Sometimes, you may even experience stares, insults, jabs, slights, and even whisper when you are out in public. The second challenge that you will have to face as an interracial couple is the loss of contact with friends or family that disapprove of your relationship. This is, in fact, the most common issue or challenge that most interracial couples have to face. I've seen in the news or heard from some of my friends who chose a new path as an interracial couple were disowned by their family members and friends. Some were even thrown out from their homes, and all of this was because parents refused to accept the differences of their children's spouse. The next challenge that you have to face as an interracial couple is negative comment online or in the media. In this 21st century era, it is uncommon not to own a social media account, and this is where it gets tough. When the keyboard warriors start attacking you with negative comments and online shame you. People are so afraid of changes that they resort to bullying others in order to put a halt in these changes. Another common obstacle that an interracial marriage or couple have to face is negative stereotyping. Let's talk about it. It is something that none of us can't get away with. People are constantly labeling others based on their appearance, their skin color, body shape, weights, or religions without even getting to know the real person underneath all of those labels. As an interracial couple, it is definitely something that you have to face through together. The next challenge that you have to face is quite similar to the second challenge, which is rejection from family or being disowned by the family. In this case, family should be your number one supporter and the pillar of your strength. However, some family members are so obsessed with keeping their purity of the bloodlines when the children chose to marry with other ethnicity, they considered that the bloodline is tainted. Some might even consider that their race is the best and refuse to accept others in the family unless they are from their own kind. So the last challenge as an interracial couple is that both of you might feel a sense of isolation. Because when you lost contact with your family and friends, you might feel some sort of neglection and isolated from the rest of the world. At some point, the feeling of neglection and isolation might feel so bad, and it might feel as if the two of you are against the whole world. So, in order to overcome these challenges, the both of you should know your differences. In any romantic connection, it is critical to become personal with your spouse and disclose your vulnerabilities. This is especially true for interracial marriages, since one spouse may have to deal with difficulties that the other has not. For example, if a person of color has a white partner, they can talk about the negative stereotypes, discrimination, and racism that only one partner may face on regular basis. Even if the white partner hasn't personally experienced discrimination based on race, this partner can be open, focus on listening, and further develop their own empathetic skills. Asking your partner, "How can I support you?" is never a bad idea when it comes to showing your willingness to understand them and give them strength. Discuss and be upfront about cultural variation in religions, diet, birth control, parenting preferences, behavior, finances, intercourse, extended family ties, gender roles, communication techniques, and custom. Your interracial marriage will not always be a fail as a result of racial and cultural differences. The incapacity of a pair to handle their differences and a lack of talk about this stressor one or both of them are facing can cause interracial marriage to fall apart. That is why you should seek out a qualified couple counselor if you believe that counseling with a third party would help you work through some of these issues. There are therapists that specialize in working with mixed race couples. So, there are a few things that you should expect in an interracial marriage. While love may be the foundation for a good, rewarding relationship, our society instills in us a variety of misconceptions regarding work relationships. For example, it may be beneficial to refrain from assuming that love and only love will overcome all barriers. This is not possible and not realistic. Every married couple needs to develop and use effective communication skills so that difficult times can be handled in healthy ways.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
So, what about couples who decide to have children in their interracial marriage? In this case, you and your partner should discuss how you will help your children to understand and embrace their dual identities and how you will raise your children. In this case, you have to make sure to tell your children nice stories about both of your family's past. As your children grow older, pay attention to what they have to say. It is completely normal for them to have occurrences in their lives as a result of people categorizing them or as a result of prejudice and discrimination. The importance of maintaining an open channel of communication cannot be overstated. You want your children to feel comfortable in approaching you for help without feeling coerced or intimidated. You should answer their questions directly, and whenever possible, you should validate their feelings. So, what about holidays as an interracial couple? For now, you might think, oh my god, so stressful. There's so many things to prepare and there's so many occasions to attend. Well, during the holidays, all married couple experience stress. That is why, as an interracial couple, you should discuss your cultural differences in how you celebrate holidays as a child. You should recognize that the holidays will provide you an opportunity for the both of you to talk about how your family will deal with the contrasts and similarities in your background. In addition, the both of you should be tolerant and understand with each other's priorities. That's why you should always be proud of your cultural traditions and work together to create ways to celebrate them that will be meaningful for the both of you. And furthermore, it is completely okay for the both of you to create your own new tradition as well. For example, you could plan to go on a certain place at a certain time each year. Last but not least, you should know yourself. Believe in yourself if you want to have a strong interracial marriage. If you are unsure about your own life, get help and support for yourself before even attempting to integrate your life with someone else's. This is typically sound advice before embarking on any new relationship or project. You will be more able to receive love from someone who has best interests at heart once you have learned to appreciate and support yourself. Psychotherapy as well as other sort of therapy can help you to achieve this as well. In conclusion, interracial marriage may have its ups and downs, but as long as you are both committed to each other, stay by each other's sides, and support each other, mentally or physically, your relationship will work out just fine. If you still have your doubts, according to the Pew Research Center, 1 in 6 United States newlyweds, which is 17%, were married to a person of different race or ethnicity in 2015, a more than 5-fold increase from 3% in 1967. This dramatic increase has not only opened doors for couples, but also for their children to be exposed to a wide range of different cultures and identities. So, as an interracial couple has a good chance to work out like any other marriage. In fact, I don't think much change because marriage is not about marrying someone for their skin color, ethnicity. Marriage is about support, loving each other, and staying together. Alright, I think that's all for today's talk. It's been a great talk, and I see you when I see you.